Hello and welcome to Class Clown series. In this episode, we are looking at part 2 of the IELTS speaking module. For this part, you will be given 1 minute to prepare and take notes, and you're expected to speak for about 2 minutes. There are a few tips in between the model answers that I've provided for you, so make sure you pay attention to those as well. Let's go! Alright. My favorite spot in my home where I find relaxation is my rooftop terrace. It's perched atop my house and offers a serene escape from the daily hustle and bustle, if you know what I mean. This terrace is a true oasis. It's decorated with potted plants, vibrant flowers, and comfortable lounge chairs surrounding a small, elegant table. There's also a low railing that provides safety without obstructing the view. That's really important. In the evenings, soft lights on the street create a magical atmosphere, while the gentle breeze rustling through the leaves of nearby trees provides a soothing background melody. I just love that. So, I've always had a fascination with astronomy, and this terrace doubles as my private observatory, if you can call it that. There's something greatly calming about gazing at the sky. It's not just about the stars, actually. It's a form of meditation that I occasionally enjoy. The reason I find this peace and tranquility on my rooftop is actually a mix of natural elements. You know, the fresh air, the fragrance of blooming flowers, and the sound of crickets. They just make a fun and multi-sensory experience. The unobstructed view of the sky can be a reminder of how beautiful our world is when you look beyond our daily routines, right? It's a place where I can escape, reflect, and find peace and quiet away from my electronic devices and other distractions in my apartment. The 1 minute preparation time in part 2 of the IELTS speaking test will go by very quickly. So don't waste time brainstorming lots of possible ideas to talk about. Just take the first idea you get and go with that. Spend no more than 10 to 15 seconds on getting your idea. So, the advertisement that I dislike is one I first encountered on TV about a year ago, I believe. It's an all too common type of advertisement. A fast food commercial, you know. This particular ad was promoting a new burger from one of those well-known fast food chains. I saw this ad during a basketball game, which I was watching with some friends. The ad came on during one of the breaks, and it immediately caught my attention for all the wrong reasons. What bothered me most about this ad was the way it portrayed the food. It used all sorts of visual tricks to make the burger look much larger and more appetizing than it probably was in reality. The cheese was perfectly melted, the lettuce and tomatoes appeared unbelievably fresh, and the meat patties seemed impossibly juicy. It was as if they were selling a work of art rather than a fast food burger. What else? The ad used enticing music and close-up shots of people taking these huge, satisfying bites of the burger while wearing joyful expressions on their faces. It just felt like they were trying to sway viewers into associating their product with happiness and fulfillment. It just felt wrong. What really upset me, though, was the complete disregard for the actual nutritional value of this. You know, there was no mention of the unhealthy ingredients or the potential consequences of consuming such a meal regularly. It felt misleading, as if they were intentionally omitting critical information, right? So, as I said, I don't like this ad because it preys on people's cravings and desires without actually being transparent about the product's quality or its impact on people's health. It promotes unhealthy eating habits and contributes to the larger problem of obesity, as we all know, and other related health issues. Knowing the key 2 or 3 things you're going to talk about and writing them down will help you focus on your language more when speaking. So just write 2 or 3 words for each main point and get ready. Let's see. A place I visited where the air was heavily polluted was New Delhi, India. I made this visit approximately 2 years ago during the winter months, and well, these months are notorious for their severe air quality issues in the city. The pollution in New Delhi can largely be attributed to a combination of factors. First, the city's rapid growth has led to a major increase in vehicle emissions and construction activities. Also, the geography of the region, joined with weather conditions during the winter, can result in a thick smog where pollutants get trapped close to the ground. This can lead to a toxic mixture of harmful gases that can cover the entire city. So, when I visited New Delhi, the air quality index was in the dangerous range. The iconic landmarks that usually stand out against the skyline were masked by the pollution. The air felt heavy and difficult to breathe, even for someone without respiratory issues. The horrible smell of pollutants was a constant reminder of the environmental crisis. To be honest, even normal breathing was a struggle, so I had to wear a mask the entire time just to protect my lungs. It was sad to see locals, including kids, just going about their daily routine, in this polluted mess. Honestly, it made me worry about the residents there because I was just a tourist, for a short period of time. But the residents must deal with this situation regularly. It opened my eyes to how big of a deal air pollution is, not just in this area of the world, but pretty much everywhere, especially bigger cities. You can follow the bullet points, or you can have a slightly different structure if you want. It is okay if you do not follow the order of the bullet points exactly. Well, one of the most unusual meals I've ever had was during a trip in Southeast Asia, about 3 years ago. I was exploring the region and my adventure led me to a remote village. I had the pleasure of sharing this unique meal with a local family I had met during my stay in this area. They were just incredibly welcoming and hospitable, and it was an experience I'll never forget. The meal itself was unusual for a few reasons. First, it was served on a banana leaf, without any plates or utensils. So we ate with our hands, which is the traditional way in this region. The centerpiece of the meal was a dish consisting of coconut milk soup with both boiled and deep fried egg noodles, topped with really tender chicken pieces and garnished with shallots and maybe some fresh herbs. I don't know, I'm not a chef, but it was delicious. It was a delightful blend of creamy, spicy, and savory flavors, which made it exceptionally memorable. Anyway, what made this meal even more unusual and memorable was the sense of community and cultural exchange that came with it. Imagine sitting cross-legged on the floor, sharing stories and laughter with the local family and other travelers, definitely created this unique bond. It was so different from the typical restaurant experience, and it allowed me to immerse myself in the local culture and the beautiful traditions. Actually, I'm really looking forward to trying that dish again sometime soon. Before you begin talking, try and have your first sentence clear and ready so you can make a confident start. Finally, keep the cue card in front of you. You can look at your notes and the cue card as you're speaking. All right, let me tell you about this memorable encounter I had at a social gathering not too long ago. It was a fun birthday party held at a friend's house, filled with music, laughter, and a mix of people from various walks of life. So, the person I particularly enjoyed talking to at this party was a man named Mark. Mark was a fellow guest, and he stood out with his friendly demeanor and interesting background. He introduced himself as a travel journalist, and that obviously immediately sparked my interest. We got into a conversation about his travels, and he started sharing fascinating stories of his adventures around the globe. He told me about an exciting trek in the Himalayas, for example, where he encountered a snow leopard, and also stories about colorful street markets of Morocco, and many more. We spent maybe an hour discussing different cultures, the beauty of natural landscapes, and the flavors of exotic cuisines, so on and so forth. What made this conversation so enjoyable was Mark's passion for his work and his ability to paint vivid pictures with words. As he spoke, it was like I was traveling with him, experiencing those moments firsthand, He was not just a good storyteller, he was a storyteller with a lot of passion and enthusiasm. Mark was also an active listener. You know what I mean? He asked me about my interests and experiences too, showing genuine curiosity about my life. This made our interaction feel like a true exchange of ideas and experiences rather than just a one-sided conversation. We still keep in touch, actually.
Good job, guys! You made it to the end of the video. We hope you found this episode useful. Don't forget to subscribe here for more lessons like this one. Good luck with your exams!